I had to cough. My God, professional streamer right here.
$75.
Oh. Oh. Oh, smells like Tuesday.
$5.
Oh, smells like Tuesday in here. Welcome in, you guys. Another wonderful Tuesday upon us. I might have coughing. I clear my throat. I just got back from vacation, so that's why I missed last week's auction. I was away in St. Lucia. St. Lucia being one of the islands in the Caribbean. First time ever been there. I've never been to the Caribbean before, so that was awesome. St. Lucia is a place my girlfriend really wanted to go to. It was like on her bucket list. And when you think of the Caribbean, like maybe you're thinking arid, hot beaches, all that stuff, which St. Lucia, absolutely, right? Hot vacation. It's like plus 30 there all the time. But what made St. Lucia interesting is it's actually forest. It's like dense rainforest everywhere, forest everywhere, jungle environment. So it's super hot, everything. But you also have, like, you don't just have to lay on a beach, you know? We didn't do all-inclusive or anything because I'm not a big beach guy. I get bored at the beach. So we also did, like, hikes, waterfalls. There's mountains you can climb. We didn't climb mountains this time. We were trying to relax, but you can climb some mountains if you want. There's just a bunch of shit to do while still being a hot destination, hot vacation, all that good stuff. So that's where I was last week. Yeah, my voice can't do this. This is, after this stream, I'm going to be dying. I'm going to be taking some hauls. But I didn't want to miss today because I missed last week. So I do apologize about that. Is St. Lucia affordable? No. No, I wouldn't say that, Super Junk. It is a premium location. It's a premium vacation. Like, if we're going to call affordable, like, Jamaica, Cuba, Mexico, right? Those are, like, the affordable hot locations, I would say. St. Lucia is much more on the premium side. Maybe more like Thailand, Bali. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of the more... Hawaii. I would compare it to Hawaii. It's very similar to going to Hawaii. Pretty freaking expensive. Skull!
Would you rather 9.6A plus or 9.9B?
22-month skull. Oh, 9.6A plus all day. Like, maybe on cardboard, you could make some kind of argument for the 9.9B, but, like, I'd still take 9.6A plus, I think. A B is just, B for bad, right? B for bad. I don't know. It's so hard to get around the B. I think I'd have to take the 9.6A plus because the B is just so bad.
Fair warning.
But thank you, 22 months in the Greg Gang. Much appreciated. Yeah, but hear me out, 9.9. I mean, what? We saw the 9.9 on some of those PS1 games, 9.9A, selling for, like, more than 9.8A plus, 9.8A plus plus. So, like, you know, what are you going to say, right? I think there are some people out there, Skull, that probably would take the 9.9B. Tanks, but no tanks, went for 175. Destructor, 9.6. 312.50. Frantic Freddy on ColecoVision going for 129. Threshold going for 119. Into NES, starting off with CIB Adventure Island 9.0 Oval, later production copy. Welcome to NES, welcome to the start of the auction.
$150.
No one wants a 9.9B, you're not wrong. Would I rather 8.0A plus or 9.4B plus? Yeah, see there, Rick, I would take 9.4B plus. Right? I would take a 9.4B plus. Rather than an 8.0 A plus. Joe, is that true? Is that true, Joe Migraine? You need an A minimum? That wouldn't make sense.
$950.
Surely you can get a 9.9B, right? Why not? And Adventure Island 2, 9.6A plus, one of the highest graded copies. I think there's only like 3 higher, 2 higher on the pop report. Yeah, 2 higher than this. One of the highest graded copies here of Adventure Island number 2, 9.6A plus.
$1,000. Fair warning.
Elijah, I was waiting for your message to pop up here. Like, surely my notification is going to work, right? Surely the notification is going to work. Adventure Island 2 went for 1187. I did see there was a comp there from all the way back in 2022 for like twice as much. So down 50% since 2022, but neither here nor there, right? I always like to mention some of those bubble prices though, just because. $1,100 though. Almost $1,200. Adventure Island number 2. Not a series that means anything to me, but a very classic video game series overall. A lot of people care about Adventure Island. Adventures of Bayou Billy, 9.68 plus. There it is. There it is.
Here is some money so you can pretend you sold some of your worthless junk and just throw it out.
I appreciate the $19.99. Honest to God, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just do that and pretend and throw something out. It would feel good to throw something out, Elijah. It would feel real good. Maybe I will do that. That's a good idea you got right there. Thank you, Elijah, for the $19.99. What a great way to be welcome back to the stream after vacation. You've been enjoying the new podcast. Thank you, Jay Long. Super happy to hear that. Ideally, we can keep it going for every single Monday, Henry and myself. So that's awesome to hear that you guys are liking it. It's awesome to hear you guys are checking it out. The reception seems to be good. It's getting some good views. So you've never seen a 9.9 with anything less than A. Water requires the A++ for 10s. Yes. I'll agree to both things you said there. I just don't know if that's an actual requirement, Joe, or if it's just coincidence.
Fair warning.
Yeah, like a 9.9 is not the 10, right? The 9.9 is not the 10, because I assume with CGC, they won't give out 10s either.
Fair warning. $140. $150.
Adventures of Lalo, number 1, 9.4 CIB for $350. That's heavy, man. For a Lalo CIB? Lalo, I've always said Lalo in my head, so I'm just going to say Lalo outside, I guess. $350 for a CIB. What's factory sealed cost?
$280.
Isn't that like getting... maybe it's not close to factory sealed price. They're not going to show me. $350 just feels like a lot for Adventures of Lalo. Adventures of Lalo number 2, 9.4 for $188. And here's Lalo 3, 9.6. Pushing up to $400, yeah. Lalo 3 is actually, like, hard. Man, 9.8 bucks? This thing is fucking mint. Lalo 3 is hard to get. Like, just in general. That is hard to get. So...
$400.
I'm not surprised to see this one pushing its way over $500 here, looking for $525. CIB NES collectors, Lalo 3, late release, 1991. It's just a hard game.
$40. $480. $550. $600.
How do you actually join as a member? You can't see it on the app? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know how to do it. CIB needs a clear distinction on the label. Like, I kind of agree with you, Adam. Like, CGC didn't do a bad job. You know, like, obviously it says complete inbox. You have your subgrades right on the front. I think the subgrades on the front of CGC is better than with what WADA did, putting it on the back, right? I think that's a good thing. Should it be a different color label?
$850.
Like, maybe a light blue? Maybe a light blue? Maybe, I guess? I don't know. Yes, Rick, you did. You got the what? Is that 3 years? 2 years? You either got the 2-year or the 3-year icon now, Rick. I'm not sure which one. I don't know how long you've been. Yeah, Lalo 3 going for $1,000, 9.6 CIB. I still think, oh man, CIB pricing still trips me up. I still don't know how I feel about super premium CIB pricing. Because, like, right, it's super fucking cool. This is a 9.6 CIB, $1,000, but, like...
Fair warning.
At this point, at $1,000 on Lalo, like, yeah, it's a 9.8 box, right? That's fucking great, hamster, right? But, like, aren't we getting close? Let's go, Rick. Yeah, 36 months, my guy. So there you go. 3-year membership, Rick. That's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, no, but you just get a lower grade, hamster. You just get a lower grade. Like, do we have comps for Lalo? Like, that's a 9.6 CIB, right? So you're at the tippy top, nicest CIB you can get. But, like, if we just go to Lalo 3 comps,
Bananas out.
here, 9.6A plus hamster. 9.6A plus. In 2021, the fucking Bubble Man was $2,400.
Fair warning.
Isn't that kind of nuts?
Next lot.
Wait, there aren't any other Lalo 3 comps apparently, but like it just, I don't think a factory sealed Lalo 3 is going to, you know what I mean?
Fair warning.
I don't know. It just feels like a lot of money for a CIB to get a super nice one, when like you can probably just get a 9.0, 9.2. Fuck, you might even be able to get a 9.4 A plus sealed copy for $1,000. It just feels like a lot of money to me. It's a Pop 6 factory sealed. Interesting. Interesting. Just feels like a lot of money to me. That those really high CIB premiums. Yeah, Adam, it's kind of what you're saying, right? The nicest CIBs are still a second place trophy. My brain still does register that. Clash at Demon Head, 9.6A plus, 375. That's crazy, man. I feel like this game cost this much like 10 years ago. Demon Head truly did nothing in terms of value. That's nuts. This was always one of those like uncommon games, but like Batman Returns 9.0A plus for $512. Bases loaded, $275 for the 9.4A. Demon Sword, $218, 9.6A plus, and Fester's Quest, 9.8A plus for the Fester's fans. The last one sold for $720, a water graded copy. This one just went for $718. CGC selling for the exact same price as Wada Games there. Ice Climber, 9.4 CIB, Rev A.
220.
Fester's sold for the same price it did Hamster. I mean, like you can say Fester's is cheap, but like the last comp on it was March 2024, so the price just hasn't moved. I mean, even in May 2023, $900. Like Fester's is just a sub $1,000 game at this point. Ice Climber, last production copy here.
$140.
It still is a Ice Climber never got an oval seal print, right? So every single copy is going to be circle seal. So then it's just, do you have a sticker, do you have a hang tab, or do you have circle Rev A? So this one being the last production, Rev A circle seal 9.4, still beautiful, pushing its way over $500. Why is NES so cheap? Do the boomers not care? I just think is Clash at Demon Head ever going to be worth more? Demon Sword, Fester's, like even Fester's Quest, right? Is it ever going to be worth anything more? Yeah, Mike, my voice is a bit fucked, but we're making the best of it here. Infiltrator, 9.6A plus. I think a lot of the lower key NES games, you really have to be someone who just cares about it.
Fair warning.
And in the future, if sealed collecting does keep, getting fans, if more collectors evolve to, even people like even people who are 30, 40, 50, Elijah, right? If NES collectors, if more collectors transition to sealed and graded, high grade CIB, just if the hobby keeps maturing, then I do think something like Demon Sword could have more value in the future than it does right now. But it's also not something I'm going to gamble on, right? It's also not something I'm going to buy and hold in hopes of that. Gen Z doesn't share boomer nostalgia for bad games. Are there no full set collectors nowadays? Factory sealed NES, I would honestly say no, right? Because if you're full set collecting, Rick, you're probably doing cartridges at like full set NES is a cartridge game. Is my camera like fucking up? I feel like my camera keeps glitching. Full set NES is a game for like loose collectors. Even CIB full set NES, how many people are doing it anymore? Right? How many people are doing full set CIB NES in 2025? How many new collectors are starting full set CIB NES in 2025? None? You know what I mean? Like no one?
Fair warning.
I don't even mean that as an exaggeration. I just feel like there's no one entering into that sphere anymore.
$200.
Little Nemo, the Dream Master, the Big Cream Master Nemo, $262.50 for the 9.0 CIB. Mendel Palace, 9.2A plus. This is developed by Game Freak. The very first game developed by Game Freak. Of course, that being the Pokemon franchise. So you have you have that special little crossover here. If you care about video game history, if you think that's something that matters, Mendel Palace.
Fair warning.
Unless you're doing the Virtual Boy or the Casio Loopy, full set collecting is tough. Yeah. Full set collect. We have a video coming out on full set collecting. Cheat Code Weekly. We talk about it. I have some strong opinions. I, of course, used to be a full set collector for many different consoles, so I have a lot of opinions about full set collecting now. And I think it is just a it's just a natural evolution of things, right?
Fair warning.
Prices of games went up. There's less people collecting. Like I don't know. Full set collecting, I don't see coming back into popularity. Pokerface, welcome in, dude.
Fair warning.
Mendel Palace went for $300 there. Nightshade is a 9.4 B plus uncommon NES game there, $187.50. Ninja Gaiden 3, The Ancient Ship of Doom. This is super cool. It's a 7.0 B plus, but Ninja Gaiden 3 is another 1991 release, very late. That's when Super Nintendo already came out. So just getting it factory sealed CIB is difficult. $425 for the 7.0 B plus. That just feels cheap, man. Look at this, right? 2019, 7.5 B plus for $630. That's 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. We just saw the 7.0 B plus sell for $425 today. That is fucking crazy, man. Like, this has to be a steal, right? Ninja Gaiden 3 can't be that worthless, can it? Tear in box, like who cares? It's still a factory sealed copy, right? Man. Round Ball, 9.88 plus, highest graded copy out of just 5, pushing its way to $475. Yeah, 2019, the beginning of everything there, Game Gallery. Still selling for 600 and some back then. Crazy. I don't think there's any GameCube today, Trevor, actually. I don't think there's a single GameCube game today. Oh, there's a lot. There's 5 CIBs, that's it. No sealed GameCube today. Of course, tonight's auction is sponsored by Heritage, so a huge thanks to them sponsoring. A huge thanks to you guys being here. I quickly have to let you know that this Thursday will be the Pioneers of Home Video Game Consoles Showcase Auction. All of your favorite Atari, Coleco, and pre-Nintendo stuff will be on the big stage. All of the rarest Atari games you can imagine coming up this Thursday. Hopefully you guys can come out for that. And of course, always accepting consignments for the upcoming Signature Showcase auctions a weekly Tuesday. Consignment deadlines are fast approaching here for the Ages of Sega, as well as the May Signature. I know it feels like a long ways away, but the May Signature closes in April. You have until April 2nd to get into the May Signature if you want to. There's, of course, Japanese Showcase, Power of PlayStation, 6th Generation Beyond, every other showcase coming up later in the year. Videogames@ha.com to reach out. Or use the link in the description. Appreciate them sponsoring. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Hopefully you can come out on Thursday for the Pioneer Showcase. That Frogger, 9.88 plus, the game in the thumbnail. Frogger in that grade, I think it's been 3 or 4 years since one sold. I think it was 2020 was the last 9.88 plus Frogger that sold. At least on Heritage Auctions. Early print copy, right? Could do something. It could do something on Thursday. We'll have to see. Skate or Die, early print 8.58 plus, 193. Silkworm is also pretty cool. 9.68 plus there for 812. Man, Silkworm actually got some love.
Fair warning. $650.
Tied with one other for highest. Yeah, there we go. Of only 8 on the pop report. First time at Heritage. Holy shit. Yeah, Silkworm, man. Even more cool than I thought. First time at Heritage. Tied highest grade copy, $812. Star Tropics, 9.88 plus. The last one sold, yeah, okay, I was going to say, the last 9.88 plus Star Tropics sold for a lot of money. $1,800. There was a WATA copy back in March. $1,000 tonight for the 9.88 plus. I think I remember all of us thinking that the 9.88 plus WATA copy for $1,800 was kind of nuts. 75. Yeah, Rick's just trolling about the crystal there, Mike. Rick is just hoping to get it himself. Xevious, 9.28 plus. And other massive hobby news I want to talk about. This is a story that developed while I was away on vacation, unfortunately, so I couldn't talk about this last week on the stream, but I'm sure some of you guys have been keeping up, following it. $1 million worth of vintage Pokemon cards might actually be fakes printed in 2024. And this is by Screen Rant. What the hell is Screen Rant in 2025? Isn't that like a movie review site? I guess they just cover anything now, but anyways, Pokemon cards. So this is coming from these test print cards. Where the hell are they? There's a big E4. If you guys know SM Pratt, if you know Pokemon collecting people, there's a forum called E4. And if you want to read something really, really deep about this Pokemon scam, I'm just going to go ahead and link that there. Save this link, go to this thread. It's super fucking interesting to dig deep into this. But what the story talks about here are these play test alpha beta Pokemon cards. I'm sure some of you guys have seen these. I'm sure you've seen this somewhere in your it's probably come up in your feed, right? These are the earliest printed Pokemon cards, beta, alpha, playtest cards. When the Pokemon series, the Pokemon cards were first being produced, first being playtested in the offices, right? These are assumedly supposed to be like the grails of Pokemon card collecting, right? The earliest known copies, the beta, the alphas, these are the creme de la creme. So these have been selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. For single cards on some of them, up to $10,000, like millions of dollars worth of these cards have been sold over the past months.
$140.
So now, what's coming out about these cards is that a lot of them have been printed in 2024. And this thread here that I linked details how with these cards, with printers, it creates like a dot matrix signature on the card itself. It goes way too deep for me to actually talk about here, but essentially you change the colors on things, you can see these like little dot patterns that become appeared, and those dot patterns act as signatures for where a card was printed. And those dot patterns, as you can see right here, create a signature that can be read. So it creates a date code on the cards. The dots on the printer, the signature, also correlate to dates. So when you go through these, with a lot of these alpha, beta cards, due to these dot codes on the cards, you can look at them and you can see that because of the dot patterns on the card, it was printed in 2024. The signature of the printers on many of these alpha, beta test cards are showing that they were they were absolutely, you can't argue it, printed in 2024. So that's where Pokemon's at, and it includes CGC. It's all CGC based. CGC was the company to take these on. CGC was doing all this stuff. The other biggest issue is that a lot of these cards were coming with provenance from Akabane, the actual creator of Pokemon. This card right here, signed by him. This is a fake card signed by the creator of Pokemon. Now, is the creator of Pokemon also complicit in all of this? I don't know. I don't know how deep this goes. I don't know where this comes from, but that's what's taking place right now in the Pokemon world, where it is fully possible at this time that the creator of Pokemon was knowledgeable or complicit with, it's either knowledgeable or complicit with all of these fake beta alpha playtest cards being printed by people as recently as 2024. That's what needs to be uncovered now, Hamster. Who is actually, can he claim ignorance? I don't know. I don't know if he can. Is Akabane a creator, or is he one of the early... who created Pokemon? Akabane Pokemon. He's either a creator or one of the very early. Takemi Akame. He created the Pokemon TCG alongside Ishihara and Kujuchi Uyama. So he is one of the creators. One of the creators of the game, of Pokemon TCG.
$150.
Wonder what it's going to do to CGC's reputation? Yeah. It's just another thing on CGC's reputation, right? Like, CGC comic book department was absolutely slammed by controversy and shit all year last year about their holders being swapped. There were people swapping out comics. Reslabbing had an issue. There was an inside job that was taking place as well. And then holders were also bending books. And then now in Pokemon cards over in that world, they're being hit with this. It's just CGC's having a bad year, man. PSA supposedly didn't authenticate the cards because the Pokemon Company itself did not give the go-ahead. Yep.
Next lot. $150.
Yep. PSA wouldn't touch them. CGC is the company who is willing to take these on.
$180.
And that's a big thing, Hamster, right? That is the
$320.
that's part of the that CGC very well might be a victim in this as well.
$60.
Right? CGC might have been victims of the scam as well, but even if they were coming with provenance from Akabane and being said like, hey, these are, you know, playtest alpha Pokemon cards, these are all the good shit, it's very clear that CGC through their process became complacent. CGC stopped doing their due diligence, right?
$600.
Because these printer patterns, the printer patterns that exist could have been caught by CGC. And the early cards that were graded that came from Akabane, going back to like 2022, 2023, I think, the early cards, the early alpha playtest beta ones, there are confirmed real ones, right? There are confirmed real ones where the due diligence was supposedly done on them all. And somewhere along this line, as intermediaries started coming in, as it became separated from Akabane, CGC stopped doing all of their due diligence. So it's very possible CGC is a victim of this as well, especially if Akabane himself is included. You know, they got played, but CGC, in being the company that is supposed to authenticate, who is putting their name on all of these things, I don't think you can
$30.
yeah, we're all victims in this, exactly, right? We all got scammed. Famous Logan Paul line there. It's hard for me to excuse CGC still. It's hard for me to excuse CGC even if they themselves are victims as well. Because at the end of the day, we're all trusting CGC to be doing this due diligence on every single card they receive, regardless of if the provenance, you know what I mean? Trust me, bro, should never be enough, regardless of the provenance of the person. Yeah, the G.I. Joe, the famous G.I. Joe cards, Mike. Arrow the Acrobat 2. We almost missed all of Super Nintendo there. But Arrow the Acrobat 2, $175. I had to talk about that Pokemon story. It's too crazy. Like I said, if you want some good midnight reading, if you can't sleep, go to that forum I linked. It's the E4 forum. You can Google it. You can look up the playtest cards. It's deep, man. It goes deep. It's very interesting. So now we're looking at a place where CGC has to pay out hundreds of thousands of dollars for this, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars will have to be paid out by CGC for these mistakes. That is the solution. That is the resolution that should come. CGC fucked up, you pay it out, right? Now, will there be jail time? Will people get caught? How much can... You know what I mean? It's really hard. I think there is a lot of plausible deniability that Akabane can have.
Fair warning.
You know, claiming ignorance might be easy enough. Depends what exists behind the scenes. Who knows if we'll ever learn about that, but it's tricky too because a lot of it's Japanese, right? So we might not hear about a ton of it ever, but that's what's happening over in Pokemon. Isn't it millions? Maybe even more than their company? Isn't CGC owned by BlackRock or something? They got fucking infinite money. CGC can afford to pay it out. It's either BlackRock or Blackstone. Millions of dollars? So there we go. CGC will be paying out millions. Donkey Kong Land. 9.4 complete in-box copy on Game Boy. Very, very slowly bidding here. Only looking for $100 on it. 9.4 with a 9.0 box. Donkey Kong Country, another beautiful CIB first print here. Went for $500 on Diddy's Conquest. Mario Paint was a Oh, it was sealed act. Oh, player's choice. Sealed player's choice Mario Paint for 156. Operation Europe, 250 bucks. Riddick Bow, 275. Romance 3, 9.48 plus for 500 bucks. Another beautiful CIB on Yoshi's Island there. 9.6 box for almost $700. So here, look at this, right? We were talking about Lolo 3 going for what, $1,000? 9.4 on Yoshi's Island, 687. Droid 2 games there, nothing, that's nothing. Donkey Kong CGC 9.6 for 275. Donkey Kong Land, only $94. Only $94 on Donkey Kong Land. That seems crazy to me. Super Mario Land 2, 9.4 CIB here with a 9.6 box. Pokemon Yellow, first print, 8.08 plus for $1,500. Super Mario Land 9.0, also $89 only. Kind of crazy. 89 bucks, 9.0 CIB. Not the best subgrades on it, but still. 225 for Mario Land 2, and here's Wario Land. Super Mario Land 3, 9.6 with a 9.6 box, 9.8 cart, 9.6 manual. Fucking beautiful copy here of Wario Land. Yeah, CGC stock going down. You'd figure the scale CGC grades cards, they have an automated process to look for dot pattern signatures. Thank you, Blue Smoke. I agree, right? You'd think that that's an automatic check they would have to do. There's nothing CGC is actually really good at outside of comics. Except the comic community fucking hates them, Mike. You know, like people who do comics right now over the past year, past 2 years, they hate CGC. They still do lead the comic market. I agree with that. They do lead comic grading still, but like the amount of anger and animosity that comic collectors have right now is very, very high.
Next lot. $550.
Pokemon Gold 8.08 for $875. Yeah, even the Wario Land. Only Wario Land only went for 200 bucks too. That just like see that kind of feels cheap to me. Man, CGC game division is the best thing going right now, Hamster. Funny enough, the CGC game division has no controversy. It has no issues. CGC video games is going great. Yeah, Diddy's Conquest has not aged well. No kidding.
Fair warning.
No kidding. Reddit Game Collecting is going to read the headline and be like, what is such a scam?
$50.
Who is the competitor in comics? CBCS. Who I'm pretty sure they were started, I'm pretty sure CBCS was started by someone who left CGC. I'm pretty sure. They're the main comic competitor. PSA is entering into comics this year, I think. So, like, as we talk about CGC having these issues, right?
Fair warning.
Yeah, 9.4 silver here with a 9.2 box, pushing its way to almost $1,000. Yeah, 9.4 silver, 9.2 box, 937. Whoof. Never doubt the Pokemon Premium.
$30.
You can get a factory sealed Pokemon Gold 8.0. Here, is this a good comparison? Would you rather have an 8.0A factory sealed or a 9.4 CIB? Right? At what point is CIB and sealed? 9.4 CIB, 937, 8.0A, 875. I don't know, seems crazy to me. I know it's gold versus silver, but, you know, just pretend. It's close enough. 9.2A++ on Battle for Naboo, 162 bucks. I know it's not the rarest game in the world or anything, but that feels cheap for a solid grade on a Star Wars title. N64 there, 162.50. 5 complete inbox GameCube games selling for $256. Dragon Quest 4, 95 plus on it. Only one graded higher out of 28 copies. All we need now is PSA games? Yeah, seriously. That's not true. Their 9.9 in overall grading on games has been a joke. What's been a joke about their game grading? There's nothing wrong with their game grading. Their game grading has been consistent, Mike. And that's all you can ask. Now you can think that the 9.9s maybe shouldn't be 9.9s or like, you know, you can act whatever you want there, but I don't think there's been an actual issue with the grading of CGC. Me personally, anyway.
26 months of greatness.
26 months of Gregness. Marty, the one-man party. That's crazy, dude. I appreciate you for 26 months of Greg Gang. You see the Crystal 9.8A++ is already at 19,000? Yes. That's probably going to go higher already, Fred. 9.8 A++ crystal is, that's a gem, dude. That's a gem. So what does a 9.9 actually mean? It means you are not a 10. That's it. It means you get kicked in the nuts because you're not a 10. I don't know what it actually means, Mike. Right? I don't know what a 9.9 means. I will not defend the 9.9 grade. I think it's stupid. But I don't think their grading has actual flaws, so to say. I don't think their grading has actual tangible inconsistency. You know? Kingdom Hearts 258 in 2 days, limited edition with the cover art sleeve, 95 plus, none graded higher, Nintendo DS, pushing its way over $1,000. Holy shit. Looking for 1,063 here. Kingdom Hearts 358 2 days, looking for $1,100. Limited edition, cover art sleeve, 95 plus, none graded higher. Whew. That's a beauty, man.
$280.
That's a beauty. 1,062. Getting anything with the slipcover graded 95 plus is kind of wild. Yes. Yes, it is.
$100.
1,062 on the 95 plus. That any DS game breaking $1,000 is pretty impressive. Especially any DS game not called Pokemon, right? Phantom Hourglass 85 plus early print copy here, going for $350. This Super Mario Bros, new Super Mario Bros, this is a second print. Just in case anyone was bidding on this, it's only sitting at $150, so it might look cheap. Just keep in mind it is a second print. I guess until you know how their scale is determined, you can't really know if it's accurate or not. I still think 9.9 is just a marketing tactic to be different. The 9.9 is purely just taken from their comic scale, Mike. Like the comics do 9.9 as well, so CGC just took their comic scale and directly translated it to video games. Now, whether or not it should have been translated to games, I don't know, right? I don't think it should have been. Paper is different than three-dimensional. You know what I mean? They're different items. They're different. But that's why 9.9 exists. They copied the comic scale. So Wata Games also copied the comic scale, right? They took CGC's scale, they copied it. But Wata Games dropped the 9.9.
Fair warning.
Which I think is a good idea. I think there's too much granularity at the 9.8, 9.9, 10. It just doesn't make sense to me. But it's the same way you have like 95, 95 plus, and 100, right? What's the difference between a 95 plus and a 100? I don't fucking know. But all I know about the scales is that you never get the highest grade.
Fair warning.
95s will often cross to 10. Yeah, I've been hearing that more and more, Blake. 95 and 95 plus having great chances of crossing to 10 grade. I have been hearing that.
$80. $85.
You like the clear subgrades that BGS does? Wish we would get that with games? Yep. Subgrades would be fantastic, man. Subgrades. I know I've talked about this before, but why is my camera fucked? Why is my camera fucked? God damn, that makes me angry. It just does little blips. I catch it in my peripheral. It's like bloop. Makes me very angry. Irrationally angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. Star Fox Command, 85 plus there, pushing for $124. What the hell was I even going to say now? Oh, VGA with VHS. VGA VHS does subgrades. The box gets a grade, the seal gets a grade. Why don't they do that for video games? I have no fucking clue. But subgrades do exist with VGA a little bit. The best we get, though, is, yeah, separation of seal and whatever, but subgrades would be cool. Be very, very cool with subgrades. 95 plus, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, $375 there. Fire Emblem Fates, Birthright, 95 plus. You can get a,
next lot.
You can get a, yeah, Nosferatu and the hash slinging slasher. Seriously, Elijah. Who's flicking the camera? VGA does do subgrades on AFA. It just makes me mad, man. Like, Adam, why can't we get subgrades? Like, why doesn't VGA just implement subgrades for their video game division? I think people would genuinely appreciate it. I think it would help VGA so much in communicating what their number actually fucking means. And I know some people will say they don't need to. VGA, blah, 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 blah. The scale makes sense. people aren't using VGA as much. VGA is losing market share. They should do something to innovate. They should do something to, you know what I mean? They should do something.
Next lot.
Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance with limited edition cards inside, also at 95. Beautiful Kingdom Hearts games, 237.50, and the other Fire Emblem Fates Conquest went for 275. So both Fire Emblem Fates games there, Birthright and Conquest, 95 plus on each, 275 each, 550 for a mint pair of games there.
Fair warning.
Pokemon Alpha VGA 90 first release. There we go. We got a first print Alpha Sapphire. Nice of VGA to Nice of VGA to put that on the label there. Pushing its way up to $200.
Fair warning. $180. Fair warning.
If VGA did subgrades, you'd consider them for sure. I think some people would, man.
$20.
I think it would just be a great way for them to like start building up customers again, right?
$100. $120. $140.
Can I get that off my screen? How do I get this? What? Get out of here. Alpha Sapphire was just hanging around there. Sold for $212. Professor Wright. Oh, Professor Layton versus Professor Wright. Sorry. VGA 90 for the Professor Layton and the Ace Attorney fans. Pushing its way over 225. VGA guaranteed 2 weeks, and already they're 4 days behind on that for you, and the games aren't cased. Fantastic. Unfortunately, VGA is in no state to innovate with their parent company going under. It's all moot milk, you know? Like, we can say, like, oh no, VGA can't innovate now because they have issues, but let's be honest, man. They were never gonna, you know? It's beating the dead horse. It's a conversation that's never going to change with VGA. They've made it very clear that they're not going to change anything. They're not interested in changing anything. I don't even know. What is there to talk about with VGA in 2025? I don't know. I don't know. Super Mario All-Stars, 25th anniversary, 90 plus. A game that is way fucking nicer than the Super Mario 3D All-Stars on Switch. Way nicer than that, right? This came out in 2010. A VGA 90 plus is pushing its way up to what? $450 here. It's not bad, I guess. Not bad, I guess. 15 years people have been holding on to these, right? 15 years. Mint, beautiful copy, sells for $425. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy that these literally never did anything, you know? Like, they just never took off. I don't know. It always felt like this should be something. 15 years, and it's $425 for a 90 plus. New Super Mario Bros. U, VGA 90 there, $200. Not bad if you don't have a copy yet. Anytime you can get like a mainline Mario mint grade for like $150, $200, not bad at all. Advance Wars 1 and 2, VGA 95. This is the kind of thing that I see happening with like with the Mario 3D All-Stars on Switch, right? It just has a ceiling, man. It just has a ceiling. Musha, CIB copy of Musha. Looks like it's faded, right? Looks like it's pretty badly sun faded. CIB, or sorry, there's no manual included. Box plus game only here. Box plus game, pushing to $325 here. One of the Sega Genesis Grails, Musha. Michael Tucci, you bought the Mario Bros. There you go. Yeah, like I said, man, VGA 90, $200. It's nice. Really nice. I think these still cost $50, $60, $70 on eBay, so like doing it yourself is going to cost at minimum $100 and some dollars. Just buy the guaranteed 90 at that point, right? Buy yourself the guaranteed 90. Musha going for $312. Isn't that dirt cheap? Isn't a cartridge worth $300? Strider Returns to Darkness here. $275 on Game Gear. Tempo VGA 90 for 32X. And we like barely ever see 32X games, hey? Only 4 copies on the Pop Report. Jesus. $362 for Tempo. Here are 11 complete inbox TurboGrafx 16 games.
$460.
I just don't know enough to tell you guys what might be interesting in here. but the 11 games are pushing their way to 625, 750. Something in here is expensive. Something. Legendary Axe 2? Is that a rare one? Legendary Axe number 2? Maybe Aero Blasters? Maybe Final Zone 2? Something in there is expensive. Sold for $812 for the 11 games there. An average of $80 per game. Whew. Metal Gear Solid 9.8 A+ on PS1. Game I still need to buy myself at some point. The last 9.8 A+ sold for $2,375. Holy shit. For only the 9.8 A+, not even A++. Okay, there we go. I was going to say. This makes a lot more sense at $1,400. The last one was $2,008. How? $2,375. November 2024. Why was someone paying $2,400? $1,400 makes way more sense. 9.8 A+ is easy. That's an easy grade on Metal Gear Solid. Here's the Blue Development PS1 console. Super fucking cool. Very, very cool. Region free development console for PS1. Blue. Ordine is expensive? Okay. You sent in the coolest thing ever. It's a qualified Streets of Rage 2 Genesis console. Damn, dude. That's really cool. You're 99% sure it will grade? That's really cool. VGA is the hidden gem of trading. If VGA made their pricing more competitive, they'd be doing a lot better. These are all just things, man. They're all things VGA could do. Yeah, there's no room left on that tiny VGA label.
Fair warning.
They were complacent being the only option for graded games. WATA comes around and they finally got them to actually make a pop report. Yep. Imagine that, right, Mike? It took WATA games like existing in order for VGA to make a pop report.
Fair warning.
Now it's fucking CGC who still doesn't have a pop report.
$5.
The Blue Development PS1 console, $1,375. Does anyone know if that's good or not? I don't follow these dev consoles or like the Net Euroses of the world and stuff like that, but does anyone know if $1,375 is not bad, not good? Who won this? Buyer or seller? Who's the winner here at $1,300? Very, very cool item. Group lot of 3 Tom Brady's, $139 for them. Res, 9.4 A++, early print copy for $99. Wow. How the mighty have fallen on good old Res, hey? Group lot of 3 sports games here. MVP 07, college or Major League Baseball 2K7, and MVP 06. How the mighty have fallen on Res. You go back to like 2008, this was a good game, man. This was a game that people wanted.
Next lot. $320, $340, $304,
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Genuinely one of the most expensive Xbox games there is. November 7th, 2024 looks like is where the comp is. $1,062 for the WATA 9.8 A+.
Fair warning.
And Mike, speaking of the 9.9, the 9.9 A+ of this game sold for $2,500. More than twice the amount. 2.5 times as much as the 9.8. So I don't know what a 9.9 means, Mike. But bigger number, better game. Bigger number, better game. $968 for the 9.8. $2,500 for the 9.9. Can you pull it up? I bet it looks just like a 9.8. We'll never be able to tell in the photos. Especially on a flat game, like an Xbox game. We'll never be able to tell a difference in the photos. Star Wars Knights 2, 9.8 A+ here on Xbox. But yeah, genuinely, Knights of the Old Republic is one of the grails of Xbox now.
Fair warning.
Star Wars Knights 2, 9.8 A+. This is an early print, first print. I think there's only one variant. Sold for $162. Isn't that cheap for Knights 2? Jesus. And here's Gears of War to close things off. 9.6 A+. I think it's a mid-print copy, not a first print, I think. I think it's just an early print. Still, 9.6 A+, looks nice, pushing its way to 139. CGC 9.9 just means a nice 9.8. They happen so often now, the premium is dumb. Yep. I agree with you fully on that, Big Box. The premium for 9.9, I think it's ridiculous, and I think we are going to see it fall in the future. I think we're going to see that level itself out quite a bit. But yeah. VGA is only going to innovate if whoever buys it is willing to invest more into it to make them competitive. Who knows? Because whoever's buying it would primarily do it for the action figures. Yep. I agree with you, Milk. The action figures, AFA, are what's going to drive the sale of CGA. It will not be VGA, unfortunately. I know how much us video game people want VGA to be the important division of CGA, but like, they just aren't. CGA is a toy company first and foremost, period. They give a fuck about action figures and toys. Video games are just a very distant second. And it just is what it is. Oh, my voice. But that'll do it for the Tuesday auction. At the top of the auction was the Pokemon Yellow, the 8.0, still was the most expensive game in the auction. Sold for $1,500. Metal Gear Solid 9.88 plus $1,400. I do wonder if we're going to see these come down. Like, both of the most recent 9.8s, both last year, were $2,700 and $2,400 respectively. That is crazy on Metal Gear Solid, in my personal opinion, given that this is a case-fresh game. There's tons of copies of this out there, and it's the 9.88 plus is, you know, for all intents and purposes, it's an 85 plus, right? We're talking about $2,000 being paid for an 85 plus on Metal Gear Solid. It's way too much money. Way too much money. Blue PS1 development console, $1,375. The Adventure Island number 2 went for $1,200, and Lolo going for $1,062 on the 9.6 CIB. Oh man, tied with the Kingdom Hearts. Jeez. Kingdom Hearts and Lolo, hey? Games that are what? 2009 and 1991. 18 years apart. Selling for the same amount of money? I don't know. It's just kind of funny to look at, right? You got a complete inbox game from 1991, cardboard, all this good shit. And you got Kingdom Hearts 358 in 2 days. 95 plus from 2009. Same price. This hobby's kind of silly sometimes. Collectibles are kind of silly sometimes, you know? And the single game that sold for less than every other game, Madden 97. 9.4A for $87. Good old John Madden, hey? Yeah, I am sick. I got sick on the very first day of my vacation. We went to bed that night and I woke up in the morning sick as fuck. So my whole vacation was spent sick, which it didn't stop me from doing anything. But obviously when you have a fever, when you're coughing, being in plus 30 weather, I was hot as hell, man. I was sweating, I was coughing, but it didn't slow me down. It didn't slow. I wasn't going to ruin my vacation, right? We pushed through. Nothing a little cold's not going to stop. Not when I'm paying as much money as I was to be there, right? So we pushed through. We're back on Thursday. Back on Thursday for the Pioneers. Hopefully you guys can come out for that. Huge thanks to Heritage sponsoring. Huge thanks to you guys being here tonight. And hopefully I'll see you on Thursday for the Atari auction. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night.